My name is Kristian Bezuidenhout. I'm here in London at the beautiful Air Studios in Hampstead, recording Volume 4 of the complete keyboard music of Mozart for Harmonia Mundi USA. I was a regular modern pianist. I studied Steinway at the Eastman School of Music in Rochester, New York. But I quickly realized in about my end of first year, beginning of second year, that the world of historic keyboards was so interesting and fascinating to me. The sense of combining research and knowledge about a repertoire with the instrument that we know the composer had in his living room or in his billiard room was an unbelievably tantalizing and attractive ideal to me. Connection to Mozart has been something that's been with me since childhood. It's cliched to admit, but one of the biggest influences for me was Amadeus, the film, which I saw when I was about 9, I suppose, and it completely changed my life. I still think it's a terrific film, despite any of the historical inaccuracies. But what became clear to me was that my parents had a lot of Mozart in the home from a very early age. So I had this music in my mind's ear. And when I turned about 9 or 10, I suddenly discovered that I knew all of it because they had played it endlessly. They had a massive record collection. The frustration with playing Mozart, and I think the problem that many performers on the modern piano face, is that there's this constant battle between the instrument that we have at our disposal, let's say the Steinway, and the music in question. And so as a young pianist, you grow up playing these pieces, and everyone yells at you all the time about playing mezzo piano, and gracefully, and grazioso, and not too heavy here, and don't bang too hard, and the phrasing and all this. And it was very clear to me early on that this couldn't be right. The man who is precocious and full of attitude and has all these strong ideas and a very high opinion of himself as well could not be the same person who plays this kind of constant mezzo piano on the Steinway. So when I discovered the fortepiano, I suddenly could play in an unbelievably visceral and dramatic style. I could play very fortissimo and very pianissimo. And the scale of the piano didn't go too far. It went just far enough that one could recapture this sense of Sturm und Drang and tempestuousness that I'm sure is present in Mozart's music and that he would have wanted. I've always been driven by a strong ideal in Mozart that the type of rhetorical landscape that he has, or that he's trying to emulate in his keyboard music specifically, is the landscape of theatre and of opera. And I don't mean any kind of hackneyed references to, Figaro and Susanna being characters in a Mozart piano sonata, but the sense in which Mozart's landscape of gestures is paying homage to the type of naturally mercurial timing that you see in any good performance of an opera. played a concert recently and someone came up to me and said, well, it was wonderful, but are you really allowed to do that? And from that I got, gosh, this is so nice and I love it and it's so appealing, but my teachers and my training says that that is kind of verboten in a way, not allowed. And so I have to then ask myself, what is expressive freedom? What is in the notation? What do I know about Mozart's style or about the style of late 18th century performance practice in general that allows me to do this with the text? People criticize me sometimes for a Mozart that is too romantic, but I would say these divisions, stylistic divisions, are completely irrelevant. And what is romance for one person is an enlivened and rhetorically varied performance for another. I think those are very individual and subjective yardsticks, ones that cannot be fixed in stone. I think in this wonderful realm of solo piano music, the realm of fantasy and structured writing need to blend in much more. So I'm the first to admit it's controversial, but